This is game two of a match between Hu and XieXieMaster. This match is slightly different from the other. Generally, in the other matches, I show the side of the winner, and I also divided the match in two parts. One where one of the engine plays 12 games as red, and one as the engine plays 12 games as black. I couldn't do this because Hu, that is the avatar for Hu ROng Hua, probably one of the greatest champions in the history of Chinese chess. It was an avatar created by a site, XiangQi.com, and it made you play. Sometimes I had the rematch. Practically, when I finish a game, he asked me the rematch, and the rematch would swap the colors. Instead, when I have both the engines on my computer, or I can decide right away the color, I prefer to do 12 games as red and 12 games as black, because in this way we can profit from learning the opening, or the way that the computer think the opening should be played. Okay, so Hu was red in this game, and XiXieMaster black. Hu won, okay? So that's the interesting part of this match, that game number one was won by XiXieMaster, game number two by Hu. And this pawn e5 is a typical maneuver that I also found interesting and working when the center is not covered by another cannon, enemy cannon, because in this way you can push, you have your two knights that can go behind the pawn, and you really gain a lot of space. So I find it interesting. Okay, so XiangQi.com, probably to praise some chess players, created this series of characters. In this case, this character is this legendary champion Hu ROng Hua, which is powered by Pikafish, a neural network engine, NNUE. Pikafish honestly always answered quite right away, so I cannot imagine how hard would it be for a human being to beat it, if it's possible. And instead, XiXieMaster was running on Intel 12th generation i7. The problem is with XiXieMaster is that at a certain point I tried to give more RAM memory, so the computer maybe could calculate deeper, but the entire software crashed, so I had to reinstall XiXieMaster. So I don't know if it crashed maybe because it was too much memory, or the memory allocation was already written. I don't know what happened, honestly. But I think that with these new CPUs, like now I also have a i9, XiXieMaster should be able to use this power. Otherwise, it's meaningless, no? Because I think it's a really good program, XiXieMaster. It's strong. It's really strong. But unfortunately, it doesn't use all the power relative given by RAM and given by the CPU. Why I say RAM? Because on the AMD Ryzen now I have 64 GB, and on the i9 are 32 GB of RAM. On this i7 it's 16 GB, so it's a lot. I noticed, as you can see, I noticed that Pikafish, it must be really a fork of Stockfish, because this continuously giving check is totally meaningless. And in Chinese chess it doesn't mean anything, but obviously if a program was written for chess, that's the reason why he continued to give this kind of checks. Okay, and obviously the game was finished. So let's remind who was red, XieXieMaster black, who won the second game, the game number 2.